Good afternoon. Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Matthew Alvarez. A lot of live coverage today. As you guys have been seeing, everything from CPAC starting day one coverage, of course, coverage tomorrow and into Saturday. Also, you saw on a separate live stream, Kash Patel becoming the director of the FBI. On yet another live stream, we saw the White House press briefing with Carolyn Leavitt. That was great to see that for about 45 minutes. So if you missed any of the coverage later today, you can always replay and check it out so you get that full context of what's happening in our world here in the United States of America. Also, later tonight, there will be a speech by President Trump. Coverage starts at 6:30 here on RSBN Live as the president will speak to the Republican Governors Association. For this event, right now at 3:05, awaiting a live feed from the East Room of the White House. For the president, he's going to be talking about a number of items, including hosting a reception for Black History Month. So a great moment to be had here as well, as we've seen the president anywhere from Air Force One to the Oval Office, the East Room, the Roosevelt Room, pretty much every room it seems, when it comes to any public gatherings for press conferences, or how about when the hostage Mark Fogel the other day last week? I mean, that felt like it was 3 years ago at this point. I mean, the amount of things that have happened on this February 20th since the past 30 days that President Trump has been in office has been unbelievable, because you know, it takes a while to do all of the things that President Trump is doing, and it's been done already in 30 days. A lot of it getting the ball rolling, a lot of it happening instantaneously, like the national emergency on a southern border. President Trump having now upwards of 5,000 military servicemen and women there to take care of the border situation. So there are so many accomplishments that have happened in this 30 days. So we're trying to cover it all here at the network. But you've seen a lot of the executive orders signed day at a time, you know, whether it's the East Room, whether it's in the Oval Office. It's been a lot of coverage, a lot of live content. But the thing that's great about Right Side, of course, you can check out anything that we have covered over the past years, specifically the past 30 days, where you can see various stories and various live events that have happened, including the one you're about to see here for Black History Month, as the president will be participating in that reception honoring Black History Month. We'll go to that as soon as we get a live feed. Until then, we'd like to thank a number of sponsors, including Colonial Metals Group. All you have to do is go to the following website. It's freegoldguide.com/RSBN for more information on gold and silver. Also a tax-sheltered IRA, a 401k backed in gold. We know there's an urgent retirement warning out there. A number of billionaires, including Warren Buffett, saying, you know what, I'm dumping $133 billion in stocks. So it's high time to check it out. Gold and silver. Colonial Metals Group, freegoldguide.com/RSBN. We'll be interviewing the CEO and founder of this great company tomorrow here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. We'll be airing that interview in the near future as well. So freegoldguide.com/RSBN, as it's 3:09 Eastern Time. Awaiting that live feed there from the White House. As soon as we get it, as soon as we see the president, we will go there live. In the meantime, we can go over some of the accomplishments the president has had over the past 30 days. If you saw the White House press briefing, you heard a number of the accomplishments as well. At the end of the day, this is all common sense leadership in full force. And the force is peace through strength and freedom, and based in our Constitution. So it's great to see all of that happening for our country. Again, a number of events coming up tonight. If you're just joining us right now, we've got at 6:30, the president's going to speak in Washington, D.C. at the Republican Governors Association. And then later tonight, President Trump said on Truth Social that he and I believe the staff, I mean, people are going to watch this Team USA Canada hockey game tonight. It starts at 8 o'clock, and it's going to be a fun game in Boston. It's going to be a loud, electric atmosphere there, and I'm looking forward to hearing the USA chants and hearing our national anthem play. But also, the Canadian national anthem will be played because it's Canada versus USA. So will the Boston fans and that whole region, how will they react when that is being played? We'll see tonight. But also, again, just the game itself, the sport of hockey, many Americans across the country loving that sport. However, I know that I'm in the Southeast right now, and this is college football country, and I too love college football. So sports are pretty cool overall, and I know America loves sports. So how about the wins, though, that Team USA, not only the hockey team, it would be great if they win tonight, but regardless, Team USA is already winning under President Trump, the captain of the country. So the commander-in-chief. A lot of wins happening. Kash Patel becoming the FBI director. Pam Bondi, the AG of the DOJ. RFK over at HHS. How about Christina Ohm at DHS? There's so many great moves happening. It's almost shocking in a way, but it's a good shock, and we're happy that these things are happening for we the people. The majority of the country voted for this to happen, and it's happening at historic speed and strength. So great to see that. Also, I was thinking about the great Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, there are so many quotes that are out there for Martin Luther King Jr., but one that's very simple, and this is what I like about it. It's common sense, but it's not confusing. It's very easy. Simply, it's always the right time to do the right thing. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing there. If we all did the right thing at the right time, we'd be super in a great place. And some of us are working on that, but still though, it's always the right time to do the right thing. Great quote there by Martin Luther King Jr. This is a live picture there at the White House, of course. We'll be going to the East Room shortly. We'll see President Trump at the beautiful East Room. That's where he usually meets with foreign leaders. So we've seen 4 foreign leaders so far meet up with him there at the Oval Office at the West Wing, and then they'd walk over to the East Wing, and there would be some statements, some remarks by both leaders, and then, of course, there would be the press conferences that happen. So looking forward to seeing more foreign leaders there. We'll see the schedule coming up. As we know, the White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt shared some information about some things coming up, including on February 26th. I believe that is a Tuesday. Let me just double check real quick. No, that's a Wednesday. So February 26th, President Trump will host or have his first cabinet meeting. That'll be on the 26th. And then on March 4th, the president will speak to a joint session of Congress. So a lot of notable dates coming up for the president, and we'll be covering it here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. And of course, that speech tonight in front of the Republican Governors Association. Prior to that, of course, we're live right now here as we get ready to go to the East Room of the White House. As soon as there's a live feed, we'll go there and show you that in real time. So monitoring various stories that are happening. Of course, one of the big ones is Kash Patel becoming the FBI director. A lot of people posting on Truth Social and X, very happy about seeing that. It's a great move for our country. So are the other cabinet picks that have already been put through. So FBI, of course, is outside of the cabinet, but still 18 picks of President Trump are now in their cabinet positions. There are 4 remaining to be confirmed. So by next Wednesday, for that cabinet meeting, most likely the entire cabinet will be taken care of. So I can go to some of those details as I scroll through my notes here. But what I do know is that Linda McMahon is one of the cabinet positions for the Secretary of Education. Also, Elise Stefanik for the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, and also the Secretary of Labor, and I believe also a U.S. Trade Representative, Jamison Greer, are the 4 that we are awaiting right now. Obviously, Lori Chavez-DeRemer for Secretary of Labor as well. So those are the 4 people that we're awaiting to be confirmed. Once that's done, it's all systems go with this government. I mean, already that's already happening now. I mean, you just look at the past 30 days. And Dan Scavino Jr. on Truth Social, he actually posted a post from January 20th. He goes exactly 1 month to the day, and it was when President Trump was getting sworn in at the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol building. And you look at that video and you go, wow, it's been 30 days? You mean 30 months? I mean, it's been so long, but it's been good. So it's quite when President Trump says historic speed and strength when it comes to the executive orders, which he's signed 73 executive orders so far, he meant it. It's that words, but also the actions surrounding it. So it's great to see that. Brightcore is one of the sponsors as we get ready to go to the East Room, mybrightcore.com/RSBN. So if you call 888-722-0936, you'll get more information on Brightcore. Specifically, kimchi is a probiotic, great for gut health, anti-aging properties, as you see there, immune support. Kimchi One, the product that you can buy 2 of these, you get 1 free. So just go to mybrightcore.com/RSBN for that great deal. I know Robert McNeely said he purchased this as well, taking these already. This is already on the way now to making America healthy again. RFK Jr. is in the right spot. He wants the toxins out of the food. This is a great product here as well. So working in conjunction with that, Maha, at it again in a good way. Brightcore right here, mybrightcore.com/RSBN. All right, it's 3:16 Eastern time. Before I get into some of the specific accomplishments on the border, the economy, the DOJ, and on, I just want to double check any breaking news that's happening out there, as we do cover a number of America First stories that are happening, but also any breaking news here at the network as we continue to expand our coverage to a number of stories out there. All right, so let's see here. Tiger Woods, the PGA Tour Commissioner, and Saudi-backed LIV League leaders at the White House for a meeting with President Trump as both tours move closer to a merger deal. That, according to Breaking 911. So that's quite interesting. We know that President Trump loves golf, as do many Americans across this country. So that'd be interesting to see Tiger Woods, PGA Tour Commissioner, the Saudi-backed LIV League leaders are at the White House apparently for a meeting with President Trump as both tours move closer to a merger deal. So that's one story we're following. Also looking like the fact that Kash Patel, of course, is the FBI director. We're looking at, that's pretty much a lot of the news that's happening right now. It looks like Mitch McConnell actually voted to confirm Kash Patel as well. That, according to leading reports. So a lot of details out there as we're monitoring all of the stories. And of course, CPAC, if you want to maybe watch, if you want to watch this screen, and if you have a second one to watch, you can also watch CPAC. Watch us both at the same time. That'd be cool because there's a lot going on there at CPAC and a lot of great interviews happening by our crew there. Of course, our RSBN host, Robert McNeely, and Ashley Brassfield, Christina Loren, there in National Harbor, Maryland, interviewing various conservative minds and conservative people that are in office and other rock stars within the movement. So it's great to see that. AmFest is an awesome conference. CPAC, a great conference as well, as we are there live, wall to wall for that for the next 3 days, or including today. And then also, of course, we'll see these kind of live events as well on this stream specifically for today, as the president will participate in the Black History Month reception at the White House. Looking forward to seeing the president once again here. Just yesterday, if you missed it, on Air Force One, President Trump held a quick press conference. We call it a press gaggle, if you want to use that word. And he was talking about at the end about Fort Knox and the fact that he wants to go make sure the gold is all still there. So it'd be interesting to see if that's a live feed we would get, which would be awesome to see. Hopefully it's all there, right? But all of those bars of gold, that'd be just cool to see that. So if we get that live feed, I'm sure we'll be sharing that with you here at the network, as we've been sharing a lot of these accessible feeds that we have now here at the network, whether it's at the White House or whether it's in Miami last night. If you remember, he was speaking at that FII conference there. We had that in its entirety. So looking forward to more of the coverage here at the network as well as we move forward. So let's look at some of the accomplishments so far with President Trump over the past 30 days. So on the border, obviously he declared that national border emergency, allowing the DoD to deploy National Guard and active duty military to secure the southern border. Currently, there are roughly 5,000 active duty soldiers along the southern border with Mexico. He ended catch and release, ensuring detained illegal migrants won't be released back into our streets. The border wall getting constructed. That has resumed in California and Texas. And to be honest with you, I've been talking about that for a while now, saying I'm looking forward to seeing that video. Well, what we're seeing here is that this is already resumed. So the border wall being constructed is already started in California and Texas. That's adding to the more than 400 miles of border wall built during the prior Trump administration. So great to see that. Of course, everything with the border has to do with stopping the crime, stopping the fentanyl, stopping just the influx of illegal aliens into our country. So those statistics pretty recently were pretty wild, weren't they? 229 people in a course of 24 hours were caught trying to cross the border. That's down from 11,000 per day under the Biden administration. So we're seeing a night and day difference right here in this country. And the daytime would be President Trump's time, the light versus darkness, or the truth versus lies. So we see that these things are happening before our eyes. So it's pretty awesome. Also, he revitalized FEMA's effort to rebuild areas of western North Carolina that were ravaged by Hurricane Helene. So many details with that as well. I mean, so many problems that happened there, but President Trump, of course, working alongside Elon Musk early on as well, even before being the president. Before being the president, he was getting Starlink set up there for all that communication that needed to happen there. Also, within the economy, many items there, including Robert Simon. He's the CEO of JSW Steel USA. He praised President Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs, celebrating them as a project that will flood the U.S. with jobs as trading partners move their industries to U.S. soil to avoid tariffs. So we're seeing a lot of CEOs backing President Trump's plans. So again, there are talking points here, and these are sent from the White House, but these are actually happening before our eyes, and every one of them are America First policies. And again, we stick with truth and common sense and good things that will happen for our country. So that's conservative media in a nutshell, like for freedom of speech to cover what's happening based in the Constitution. And we're seeing these things that are happening here that are really good for the nation. So reading off a number of them, let's go to Tax Network USA before I continue. 800-357-1415 is the number to call there. And tnusa.com/RSBN. You can go to that website as well. Check out Tax Network USA. If you have a few taxes that have been lingering for the past few years, you can settle those back taxes. 800-357-1415 is the number, as it's 3:23 Eastern Time. Speaking of the economy, when we look at the possibility of some of the Doge savings possibly some of it going to the American people, I'm not going to get into all the numbers there. I did hear a breakdown earlier, but I will say this. We will cover it as we hear it from the White House or from the president or from Carolyn Leavitt, the White House press secretary, on the specifics of any kind of Doge funds or savings back to the American people. We've also heard of a number of people saying, well, hopefully we just abolish the IRS or the federal income tax or whatever. So we'll see what happens with all of this, because this has been happening in a real-time pace when it comes to all of what Doge has found. Did President Trump know that all these things were happening? I don't think so, because you know what? That's why he got the Doge department going, the Department of Government Efficiency. Elon Musk and the crew all looking into various departments and auditing and checking and seeing all of these payments that are untraceable. I mean, the other day, the $4.7 trillion one, that was tough to see. There's so many that President Trump just read yesterday at that FII conference in Miami. So Dan Scavino Jr. also on Truth Social saying this is a must listen and watch. And it was about that 4 minutes of President Trump talking about various expenditures that are woke, radical ideology that are also based in other countries of our dollars going to these things. So so we know that there's a lot being uncovered there. And that's just within the financial sector of the departments and each department that Doge is looking at. So how about all the other corruption that was in leadership in various parts of military, FBI, and on. Well, Kash Patel now taking care of any of that. Of course, not every FBI agent was corrupt or anything. There's many great FBI agents out there that just want to do their job across this country. Unfortunately, the leadership and then those that were on the woke side of things were coming against, were weaponized in some ways. So we see that President Trump working against the weaponization of the DOJ, and Pam Bondi is cleaning up all of that over at the DOJ as well. So there's so many stories to really focus in on. Right now we're taking that 30,000 foot view, kind of flying over all of them and saying, wow, look at this one, look at that one. I mean, 30 days. This has been quite wild to see. All right, so it's about the bottom of the hour, 3:26 Eastern time. We'll go over some more accomplishments as we await the president from the East Room of the White House. I'm Matthew Alvarez. We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Families across the nation have arrived at a heartbreaking crossroad to surrender their beloved animals at alarming rates due to inflation and soaring costs of living.
There are so many overcrowded shelters. So many dogs need a home, but it's all of us working together to solve this crisis.
This fight requires both doers and dollars. Join us at Big Dog Ranch Rescue. Please sign up today.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed, because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
Welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network, awaiting that live feed to the East Room of the White House for this great event. President Trump participating in a reception and honoring Black History Month. Of course, a lot of whether it was Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, white Americans, Asian Americans, no matter what background Americans, it was awesome to see the amount of support that showed up for President Trump over that campaign trail. I remember being in the Bronx or in Grand Rapids, Michigan, or wherever across the country, and then also seeing various reports and various rallies from around the nation, and people from all walks of life, all about President Trump, because he's all about truth and freedom and common sense. So it's easy to like someone like that too when they stand for the right things. We know he's been standing for the right things, but also talk about being an entertainer and having some comedy going through it too, regardless of all of the lawfare and terrible situations that we all shared together, watching and seeing some in person and some here in the studio when it came to some of those events that occurred Butler and on. But, at the end of the day, we see someone here that is on the right side of history. And so that's what we're looking for, is not only President Trump, but his whole cabinet and the entire White House staff and the vice president, everybody, the first lady, everybody just really going for it for our country. And it's all peace through strength, and it's all common sense. And we, the people, we are, a lot of us are smiling more than we were a few months back, of course. It was some trying times, going up into that November 5th election. It's needless to say, trying times. It was some scary times. However, with God and with grit and with the American way and patriotism and believing and praying and working hard and voting and making it too big to rig, we are here. And it's been 30 days of greatness happening in that White House, and we've seen it. And it's fun to cover, to be honest with you. But we do know that not everything is a bed of roses, in the sense of, we know that the left-wing media and some of the Democrat leadership are really out to still want to have this country be destroyed. It's still out there. But right now we're seeing so many great wins by this president, and also with Kash Patel today as the FBI director. So really cleaning up the corruption, each institution, agency, department at a time in front of us right now. I mean, talk about transparency. This network right here, we're constantly covering from wall-to-wall events. I mean, look, the president's not there yet, and we're there live. It's like we're ready to show you everything that's going on, because that's what we want as Americans now, because we are the ones are running the show. We're the ones voting for the various officials, and various politicians that are in, and outsiders like President Trump. So that bar has been set. We know it, and I don't think we would settle for anything less coming up for the next presidential election in our country. President Trump set the bar way high, and so we're going to look for someone that would fall in line with that kind of way, because that's what we want in this country. We don't want another dog and pony show politician type that isn't for the American people. At the end of the day, we know that there are a few that have been in politics for a number of years, but at least they're for the American people. I can list off a few people right now, just off the cuff. Why not go with Eli Crane, or Senator Tommy Tuberville, or Lauren Boebert, MTG. I mean, a number of people that are just like real. They're like, hey, you know what? We got to win this for this country. We got to get this taken care of for this nation. Matt Rosendale, Andy Biggs, John McGuire out of Virginia. I mean, there's a lot of people that are stepping up to the plate. A number of great senators as well. So we're hoping that more people run for local office, that maybe you're a business person, or maybe you're coming out of college and you have an opportunity in your local city council. This is that one step at a time that we can drain the swamp, not only in the federal government, but in state government, in local government, at our school boards. I mean, the woke is you go broke. If you go woke, you go broke. I mean, we saw that as the way it is. Now that one camera down there, I'm not sure if they need to clean off the lens there or what. I don't know what we're seeing there, but we do see the live footage from the East Room of the White House. Again, President Trump will be participating in this great moment right here with Black History Month, this reception that will be happening. So we'll go there live as soon as we see the Commander-in-Chief walk out. There's the lens cleaning right now. So we are showing you, I told you, we're showing you it all when it comes to live politics, Again, for those of you joining us right now, thanks for streaming in with us. Of course, many of you are flipping back and forth maybe. I know a lot of people watching the CPAC stream as well. But later today, President Trump will have another speech tonight. Our coverage starts at 6:30 right here on RSBN Live. So we'll see you then. But until then, we're awaiting the president here as it's 3:35 Eastern time on the East Coast, 12:35 on the West Coast. Thanks so much for streaming in live. Also looking forward to that USA-Canada hockey game tonight. It will be fun to watch that. It starts at about 8 o'clock. So after the 8 o'clock Eastern, after President Trump's speech from the Republican Governors Association, which starts at about 7:20, 7:30, the president's going to speak. And then I believe, according to his public schedule, he may be finishing or wrapping up around that 8 o'clock hour. So after President Trump's done speaking, then of course, those of you that are into sports and Team USA and all that, it's on ESPN, so it's not going to be on RSBN, but the thing is, just letting you know where it's at, because a lot of people will be cheering on our team tonight. And again, regardless of the outcome tonight, we know Team USA with the captain Donald Trump was already kicking butt. We're already winning left and right, and we're seeing it in our country. It's quite awesome to cover it. All right, so again, President Trump will be showing up there at any moment. This is after being in Florida last night for that FII conference. He spoke there, and then on Air Force One, he was traveling from Florida to Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, and he gave a mini press conference on Air Force One. And possibly we may go to that while we have the split screen here of the East Room to show you some of the footage from yesterday. Our crew is definitely working on overtime today. We have a lot of streams going, of course. I think this is probably the fourth or fifth in just one day, and it's only 3:30 in the afternoon, with another one later today as well. And that's on the heels of tomorrow's coverage with CPAC when it comes to day 2 from CPAC. And then President Trump, I believe, will be speaking on day 3 on Saturday. So you can follow us on Right Side Broadcasting Network to catch up with all of the news going on around America First policies, but also everything when it comes to the White House, the Pentagon, the State Department, and on, as we cover whether it's a foreign leader visiting the president, or on Wednesday, the 26th, President Trump will be meeting with his cabinet. So there'll be a cabinet meeting that, as long as cameras will be in there, we'll have that feed. And then on March 4th, he'll be speaking to a joint session of Congress. So a lot of notable dates coming up just right around the corner, as it's Thursday, February 20th, exactly 1 month into this second administration for President Trump. So quite awesome to see that. Director, do we have the Air Force One video that we could possibly throw to while we await the president? Okay. All right. So as of right now, we'll be still on standby as we await the president there in the East Room of the White House, and it'll be great to see him and great for him to speak about Black history as well. I mean, if we look at Martin Luther King Jr. as well, just that quote from just earlier, if you're just joining us right now, he said, "It's always the right time to do the right thing." A great quick quote there, so many by MLK Jr. And if you haven't seen the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, it's in Washington, D.C., a beautiful new memorial. My wife and I actually saw it last year, towards the end of the year, because we were traveling. I believe it was a Richmond rally, or there was another rally of sorts that were happening, but we were in that area. And so we were able to check that out, which was pretty cool to see. And also, of course, even recently with the representative from Florida, Ana Paulina Luna, saying that there's going to be a declassification task force to look into the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and MLK. So interested to see those details as we await the President of the United States right now, this February 20th at 3:39 Eastern. A lot going on this week, with CPAC and with the president, but we're covering it the best we can here at the network as we are live. A lot of times we're live during the day, and even tonight, again, at 6:30 Eastern, you can join us live right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. The president will speak at the Republican Governors Association. He'll speak around 7:20, and our coverage will start at 6:30, just in case he starts a little early. Tonight's speech, I don't think it's going to be a very long speech, because the president's schedule, the public schedule that's out, shows him possibly departing, within that hour there. So it's not going to be one of those 2.5-hour speeches. You never know, though, with the president, which would be totally fine if that happened. But again, okay, so I'm just hearing that the clip is ready as well. The clip that I'm referring to is from Air Force One. This happened within the 24/7 news cycle. President Trump held a mini press conference, a press gaggle on Air Force One just yesterday. So what we'll do is we'll go to that video. We'll keep this live picture of the East Room up as well. As soon as the president shows up, we can go from that Air Force One video directly to the east room of the White House.
Hello, everybody. So you just saw this. This just came out. And I'd say that's quite good, right? By any standard, that's quite good. I shouldn't leave USA. Is anybody here from USA today? Yesterday. We missed him. Does everybody know Stephen Chung? He's a sweetheart. You wouldn't want to get in a fight with him, right? Anyway, what's up?
Mr. President, the TikTok deal, any developments there?
No, there's a lot of people interested in TikTok, and I think we have a chance of doing something good. And we'll be speaking to China about that also, because they're a party to it, obviously. But it would be great to keep TikTok alive, sell it to somebody that's going to do a great job with it.
Did you see the CEO today at the event, sir?
Did I what?
Did you see the CEO today
No,
at the event?
I didn't speak to him. Was he there?
He was supposed to be there.
I think so, yeah, but I did not see him.
Sir, Elon Musk is proposing potentially giving money to Americans based on what Doge is finding. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I love it. A 20% dividend, so to speak, for the money that we're saving by going after the waste and fraud and abuse and all of the other things that are happening. I think it's a great idea.
How much money do you think?
Could be a lot. I mean, if it's 20%, we'd give back a lot of money to the taxpayer. And also it'd give an incentive for the taxpayer to go out and report things to us where we can save money.
So you signed an immigration-related executive order today. What do you think of ICE arrests right now? Do you think that they need to increase the number of people they're arresting?
Where?
The pace of the ICE?
No, I think they're doing a great job. You know, you have people that are hiding. They're professionals at hiding. That's what they've done for a big part of their lives. And they're criminals in many cases, very serious criminals, including murderers. And obviously they're not easy to capture, but they're being captured in record numbers and they're being brought out of our country, being brought back to where they came from.
Mr. President, on Boeing, you mentioned maybe taking a different route. What would a different route entail? On Boeing, with the Air Force One plane?
No, I'm not happy with Boeing. It takes them a long time to do, Air Force One. We gave that contract out a long time ago. It was a fixed price contract, and I'm not happy with the fact that it's taken so long. And we may do something else. We may go out, buy a plane or get a plane or something, but I'm not happy with the fact that it's taken Boeing so long. There's no excuse for it. And they had a fixed price contract. I made that deal. And now they're losing a lot of money, and they'd like to see if they can, up the price. But I make fixed price deals. I don't like time and material deals.
Sir, the only other commercial aircraft maker that could make a plane that big is Airbus. Would you consider buying it?
I would not consider Airbus over Boeing, no. But I could buy one that was used and convert it. I could buy one from another country, perhaps, or get one from another country. So we're looking at other alternatives because it's taken Boeing too long. They were supposed to be finished like years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. Don't forget, I signed that contract during my term, and it was a very good contract. And I took like $1.6 billion off the price. And it was supposed to be done, quickly. And it's a long time, right?
Would you push for your preferred color scheme for Air Force One?
Oh, no, it's going to be that color, yeah. No matter what, it's going to be for that color.
Sir, about Gaza, do you find the Egyptian proposal to redevelop Gaza acceptable?
I haven't seen it. When I see it, I'll let you know.
So how about Ukraine? You said today that you had a deal on critical minerals and Ukraine broke it.
Yeah, we had a deal where we were going to get... Look, you have to understand, Europe is being paid back the money that they put up, and they're only putting up a fraction of what we're putting up. I think they're in for $100 billion, and we're in for $350 billion. There's no reason that should have happened. It's Biden's fault. He shouldn't have allowed that to happen. But on top of it all, they're getting their $100 billion back, and we're not. And I've been talking about this for 2 years. I said, you have to loan them the money so that if things work out, they're going to pay you back. And they didn't do that, so Biden didn't do it. It's his fault. Nobody's ever seen anything so stupid. So Europe gets their money back, and they're only in for a small fraction. And obviously, everything's important, but it's more important for them because they're right next to Russia. So it's more important than we have an ocean in between us. So it's obviously more important in the European countries than it is to the U.S. But here's the thing, we don't get our money back. And we told them that the deal is we'll do something for the rare earth and some oil, etc., and that'll be all right. And they agreed to it, more or less. And then Scott Bessent actually went there and was treated rather rudely because essentially they told him no, and Zelensky was sleeping and unavailable to meet him. He traveled many hours on the train, which is a dangerous trip. And we're talking about the Secretary of the Treasury. He went there to get a document signed. And when he got there, he came back empty. They wouldn't sign the document. But for Europe, they pay back their money. It's a loan. Think of that. And we should have a loan too. But we had an administration that was incompetent.
Can you resurrect that deal? Is there anything that you can do?
Yeah, I think I'm going to resurrect it. Or, you know, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to resurrect it, or things are not going to make him too happy. And look, it's time for elections. They haven't had an election in a long time. It's wonderful to say, you know, we can't have an election, but it's time for elections. And it's also time to find out what happened with all the money. Because he made the statement that half of it, he doesn't know where it is, or something like that. And I'd like to find out all the money that we've been sending to Ukraine, where is it? And I can tell you we're doing very well with Russia. We're going to do something with Russia that he was unable to do. We can make a deal with Russia to stop the killing of, you know, potentially additional millions of people. The soldiers are being just wiped out on both sides, wiped out. It's horrible. You know, the weaponry today is so powerful, so, you know, strong, that it's killing a lot of soldiers. And I don't want to see they're Russian and they're Ukrainian. I don't want to see those soldiers killed. They have mothers and fathers, they have sisters and brothers. I don't want to see them killed.
Mr. President, on tariffs, you mentioned lumber. That's something that I don't believe we've heard before.
Lumber, yeah, forest products, yeah.
And do you have a rate in mind for that?
No, but we're thinking about maybe 25%.
And would that also be April 2nd?
In that vicinity, yeah, a little bit later.
And also, which car companies did you said that you spoke with some car companies?
I spoke to all car companies. Everybody's coming back into America.
So these are foreign car companies?
Including foreign companies, yeah. They're going to be coming in because they don't want to pay the tariffs.
You said you'll be having lunch with some Democrats next week. Can you elaborate on who that is and what you'll play with?
Well, you'll see when I do it. But some good ones.
Are you going to
some biggies.
Are you concerned about congressional funding?
No, I think we're going to just talk. I think it would be great if Republicans and Democrats could get along. It's time. It's time. Makes sense.
Would you say you trust the Russians to negotiate in good faith going forward? Do you trust them?
I do. I think the Russians want to see the war end. And I do. I really do. But I think they have the cards a little bit because, you know, they've taken a lot of territory. So they have the cards.
Mr. President, have you set a date for the British Prime Minister's visit to Washington?
No, he'll be coming soon, though. He's asked to come and see me. So he'll be coming. And President of France also, Macron, will be coming.
But no date yet?
Very soon. Maybe Monday.
Mr. President, on congestion pricing, so they're going to be, it's supposed to have saved about, or raised about $15 billion to help the MTA. Do you have an alternative way to fund the MTA system now that they're
No, that's up to New York. They have to do that. Look, New York's treated a lot of people very badly. And it's hard to, you know, it's hard to feel sorry for what's happened in New York. It's sad to see the way they've treated people. And they continue to do it. And, you know, look at what's going on with the mayor. Look at what's going on with so many other things. So congestion pricing is not a good situation. And they're treating the people of New York very badly. Supposing you worked in a shoe shop or you worked in a restaurant as a waiter and you have to come into Manhattan and they're taking, you know, many dollars out of your pocket. You can't afford to do it. And pricing, you know, if you take a look, traffic will go down because people aren't going to come. If people don't come, that means the whole place it's going to be a disaster. So it could be, and it's probably going to show that traffic will come down, but that's not going to spend their money in New York. They'll go someplace else.
Are you here to go to court if lawsuits ensue?
Well, we'll see what happens. You can give me the final because I haven't seen it as of late today because I was making a speech. Did I make a good speech? Yes. Okay. Go ahead. What else?
Can I ask you about the Chinese? So, you know, eventually you would like to meet with President Xi. But
I have a very good relationship with President Xi. I think a great relationship with President Xi. But remember, he loves China, and I love the USA. So, right there's a little bit of competitiveness. But the relationship I have with President Xi is, I would say, a great one. It was obviously hurt by COVID coming in. It hurt them, hurt us, hurt everybody, hurt the whole world. But outside of that, I have a very, very good relationship with President Xi.
Are you looking to
I think he's a very unique person.
Would you make a new trade deal with China? I mean,
It's
the
possible.
phase one trade deal never really got.
It's possible. Well, we did a great trade deal with China. We did it great for the farmers, great for manufacturers. They had to buy $50 billion worth of our product, and we were making them buy it. The problem is that Biden didn't push them to adhere to it.
So, do you think D.C. should govern itself, or do you think that governing of District of Columbia should go back to Congress?
I think that we should govern District of Columbia. It's so important, the D.C. situation. I think that we should run it strong, run it with law and order, make it absolutely flawlessly beautiful. And I think we should take over Washington, D.C., make it safe. People are getting killed, people are being hurt. You have a great police department there, but somehow they're not utilized properly. We should govern D.C. I think the federal government should take over the governance of D.C. and run it really, really properly. And I like the mayor. I get along great with the mayor. But they're not doing the job. Too much crime, too much graffiti, too many tents on the lawns of these magnificent lawns, and there's tents, and it's a sad thing. Homeless people all over the place, and we got to take care of the homeless. But you can't have that in Washington D.C. When they come over to see me, like Macron is coming, and the Prime Minister of UK is coming, and all these people are coming over to see me. We'll have ultimately President Xi, and we'll have everybody coming, right? And you can't let that be. You just can't let that happen. You can't have tents all over your once magnificent plazas and lawns and all. You just can't do it.
We'll do a couple more.
Sir, do you think you can still pay for extending your tax cuts without cutting both Medicaid and Medicare?
Yeah, absolutely.
House Republicans are planning to make cuts too.
Well, I think we're going to take in tremendous tariff money, number one. And number two, you take a look at Doge and you see what's happening. We're saving billions of dollars.
On Doge, do you know what they're looking at specifically at the Department of Defense right now?
Yeah, they're looking at everything.
And are they going to cut more national
They're looking at. We're
security
going to go into
positions?
Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there.
Are they going to
You know that we're going to go into Fort Knox. Do you know about that?
Sir,
That was a bad bump.
Are they going to eliminate more national security positions, civilians there?
We'll see what happens. But one of the things we do want to look, we hope everything's fine with Fort Knox, but we're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there.
where would the gold have gone?
Brought up
If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.
brought up Greenland in a while. Are you
We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security and international security. We have to do something with Greenland. We have to protect Greenland. But we need it for national security, and we need it, maybe more importantly, for international security.
All right, we'll just do one more.
So can I just follow up? Are you seeing it as part of any of the discussions you're having with Europeans and Putin in some sort of peace deal?
No, we have to have Greenland because of the national security picture. Even more so now than it would have been 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when they talked about it then too. They used to talk about it years ago when they were talking about Greenland, but much more so now with, modern weaponry, planes and the speed of planes and all of the things. So we have to have Greenland. Thank you very much.
Can you tell us
Thank you,
what
Mr.
executive
President.
orders you signed this afternoon? Thank you.
Okay, so within the 2047 news cycle, that was last night aboard Air Force One as President Trump was headed to Joint Base Andrews in Maryland and then on his way from the Air Force Base on Marine One over to the White House. Of course, today, a lot of news going on. Of course, Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, it's official. A lot of rejoicing and celebration going on for various Americans across this country. Yet another great pick by President Trump in the right position. You're looking live there at the East Room of the White House, President Trump to participate in a Black History Month reception. And on January 31st, President Trump actually shared a proclamation the day before Black History Month. So he said then on the 31st, "Today I'm very honored to recognize February 2025 as National Black History Month. Every year, National Black History Month is an occasion to celebrate the contributions of so many Black American patriots who have indelibly shaped our nation's history. Throughout our history, Black Americans have been among our country's most consequential leaders, shaping the cultural and political destiny of our nation in profound ways." The president went on to say in this proclamation, "American heroes such as Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Thomas Sowell, Justice Clarence Thomas, and countless others represent what is best in America and her citizens. Their achievements, which have monumentally advanced the tradition of equality under the law in our great country, continue to serve as an inspiration for all Americans. We will also never forget the achievements of American greats like Tiger Woods, who have pushed the boundaries of excellence in their respective fields, paving the way for others to follow." The president continued this proclamation on January 31st, saying, "This National Black History Month, as America prepares to enter a historic golden age, I want to extend my tremendous gratitude to Black Americans for all they have done to bring us to this moment and for the many future contributions they will make as we advance into a future of limitless possibility under my administration." That said, on January 31st, a proclamation from President Trump talking about February being Black History Month. And then, of course, today, he'll be participating in a reception there. So great to see that. Great to see all of the support from all walks of life throughout our country. It was awesome to see that. Whether, again, Black America, white America, Asians, whatever, Hispanic, it doesn't matter, because what matters is it was we the people as a unit together, no matter what we look like, saying we want President Trump in office. And a number of reasons why are pretty simple. It's all common sense. We want more law and order. We want safety. We want our rights to be not infringed upon. We see all of the things that President Trump went through, and he still overcame them. I mean, what a comeback story. What a show of God and grit combined with that. I mean, a lot to be thankful for. Even though Thanksgiving's a long time away, it's still good to be thankful every day for what is happening in this country. As again, we as a nation are celebrating. You know, this is 30 days into this administration, and people are feeling pretty darn good. And it's good to feel that way, but also, again, you hope for the best and prepare for the worst. It's part of the way a lot of people live their lives, and it's not a bad way to do it. You know, we celebrate the wins and we keep on looking for more, but the wins are all based, again, in that peace through strength and that common sense of our country. So great to see that, and great to see this event here, and an awesome hat there worn by a supporter, the dark MAGA hat, Make America Great Again. Of course, Elon Musk sports that one sometimes. And I'm not sure if this is for planning purposes only, but let's just put it this way. I think that Elon may be stopping at CPAC. I don't know if that's supposed to be released or not. I don't think it's for planning purposes only. So the fact that Elon might be at CPAC is pretty cool. So that will be maybe a bit later. But also, you can always watch the replays here at the network if you do miss something, because right now what we're seeing is so many great things happening on various live streams that you might miss one. So if you do, you can check them out in various spots, but definitely on Rumble for Right Side Broadcasting Network. Of course, those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube or X or the Great Truth Social or Getter, wherever you're watching right now, thank you so much for live streaming in on this Thursday, February 20th. 2025, 30 days into the second administration for President Trump. Does feel like 30 months in a great way, because of all of the things that have been happening, all the accomplishments by President Trump, and also all the campaign promises, promises made, promises kept. We're seeing it happen, and why report anything otherwise when it comes to our country? If there are good things happening to our nation, let's talk about them, and we can analyze them, we can have commentary, we can have a lot of various speeches. You'll hear one from President Trump here today. And then also later, starting our coverage at 6:30 when he speaks in front of the Republican Governors Association. So, yeah, it's good to keep that that truth and that true narrative out there of what's really happening. As it's been a number of years that we have not heard the kinds of things that you hear on Right Side Broadcasting Network. You've never heard that from mainstream media, and you won't ever hear it on mainstream media because you know who runs the shows over there. So that's just the way it is. Again, great to be a part of conservative media and Right Side Broadcasting Network, that grassroots group. It's been quite awesome since day one, 2015, covering President Trump at those rallies and all the speeches and seeing all of the crowds, a grassroots network. And then from there, it grows into what we're seeing today, where we're having live feeds all across the country, whether it's inside the Beltway there or right outside the Beltway at the National Harbor for CPAC, or the other day, video from anywhere in the world. It's quite awesome to see the evolution of, or the growth of, this network as we expand to cover, again, America First news, breaking news, but definitely a huge focus on this president, this White House, as we continue to cover and move forward with you, the American people, because it's us together. It always has been for this network since 2015. If the people, if all of us that, I interviewed a number of you out there, but out there on the rally, campaign trail, I know a lot of our hosts here too have done that. And if we weren't about the people, why would we so-called waste our time and interview people in line? We didn't waste our time because we, the people, run the show. And when President Trump says, when we win the White House, obviously we've won the White House. And it's about the people and about showing you wall-to-wall coverage of what's happening and truth and common sense. And I know I say that a lot, but at the end of the day, that's why have to get confusing with a lot of other words when, hey, we want more safety. We want our law and order. We want the southern border closed. We want gas prices to go down, the price of food to go down. We know President Trump and the team are working on all of that within the economy. So many accomplishments connected to that, as well as we continue to see developments happen where CEOs of companies are saying, hey, we like this, let's do this. Again, why wouldn't they when you have someone that is the boss of bosses? President Trump is that guy, so it's great to see it. But it's also awesome to see the 18 confirmations, the 18 people already in their post positions, whether it's the DOJ or whether it's outside of the cabinet, the FBI and others doing awesome things already. So looking forward to seeing the president again, guys. I know you are too. It's 4:03 Eastern time. I've said this a few times as well, but I'll say it again. Go Team USA tonight. Hope they win against Team Canada for that hockey game starting at 8 o'clock. And I believe the Boston crowd's going to make it very electric tonight, like a Game 7 Stanley Cup final. I really think they're going to be into it tonight because they love hockey in Boston, and also who doesn't love Team USA, right? So it's going to be quite great to see that. But still, outside of that, even in an analogy of this is Team USA right here. You're seeing Team USA right there in the East Room of the White House. You're going to see the captain of Team USA coming out in a second, President Trump. So we're winning, and winning, it's not about just winning. It's about doing what's right. And that's what leads me back to that quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Saying, it's always the right time to do the right thing. So yeah, we're getting out of that terrible situation that we found ourselves in through that fake administration last go around. When it comes to Biden, and now we're on our way to great things in this country. And what's great too is that we have God in this country. We have our faith being free to speak about it. In other countries, we know that you can't even speak about your faith in some countries. That's crazy, right? Well, that's the way it is in some places. A lot of the people in these countries, a lot of the free world, and I believe the free world can be within Iran and in China. Follow what I'm saying. The people there want to be free. That's the free world, right? So we're just looking for more of that in our country and anywhere that the world can have it as well. All right, so other sponsors that we're looking at here is RepublicanRed.com. Great products right there on the side of your screen there. That's the red blend and the sparkling wine. There are so many other awesome selections. If you just go to RepublicanRed.com, and when you buy one of these, just use that RSBN promo code. And then, of course, if you'd like to go to the QR code, that gets you right to it as well. As it's about 4:05 Eastern time. We have a couple of the bottles here inside. It's closed, of course, but they're in the studio. We'll show that to you, whether that's today or tomorrow, some of the bottles, which are specifically those on the screen. So RepublicanRed.com, Republican Red Winery, a great sponsor here at Right Side. So, all right, so 6 after 4 o'clock, a lot going on, of course, as you guys have seen today. Kash Patel, the FBI director, now it's a newly minted director there, and it's going to be great to see that. And him arrive at the headquarters. Also, Pam Bondi at the DOJ and RFK Jr. at HHS. I mean, there's so many great picks that are in their positions now. We do have still 4 people yet to be confirmed. Those are the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Elise Stefanik, the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, Secretary of Labor, Lori Chavez-DeRemer, and the U.S. Trade Representative, Jamieson Greer. Let's go to Washington, D.C. at the East Room of the White House.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. This is some crowd. How are you? Thank you. Leo. This is some crowd. These are the best people, Tiger. And we have Adam Scott here also, winner of the Masters, one of the greatest golfers in the world. I've always tried to swing just like Adam. It never worked out that way. And Tiger, we know, and I just want to thank Adam and Tiger and the Commissioner of Golf. Jay, thank you very much for being here. Jay Monahan, head of the PGA, and we had some interesting discussions. But let me ask you, is there anybody like our Tiger? How are you? He's the great. Would you want to just say a couple of words, Tiger? He doesn't. He's much more comfortable. Tiger.
Hey, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here with you, Mr. President, and to be honored here with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you too. Go right over here. Thanks, Tiger. And I want to thank all of you very much for being here. Welcome to the White House, and we proudly celebrate Black History Month. How are you, darling? Today we pay tribute to the generations of black legends, champions, warriors, and patriots who helped drive our country forward to greatness. And you really are great. You're great people. What a great, nice group of... I have some people in front of me every once in a while with all the problems that are caused all over the world. They're not nice. They're not nice. But we're making them nice, I can tell you that, and we're making them nice rapidly. So we're pleased to be joined in this really beautiful afternoon at the White House by hundreds of incredible members of the African American community, many of whom are making history themselves, including one of the greatest athletes of all time, who you just said hello, the man who matched Sam Snead's #1 record for the most PGA Tour wins ever, and a man who has 15 majors, and he's got a long way to go, too. I was with him a week ago. We played. I think he's got some left, doesn't he, huh? He's got a couple of majors left, maybe more than that. But Tiger Woods, he's an incredible guy, an incredible athlete, an incredible player. Thank you for being with us, Tiger. Thank you very much. And he got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which he proudly wore today. And we have Senator Tim Scott here. What do you think, Tim? You never got the Presidential Medal. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. You better believe it. And also, Adam, thank you very much. Adam is as Tiger will tell you, one of the greatest players and one of the great modern players. And he had 32 wins worldwide and winning the Masters also. And he's something very special and a great representative of golfers and athletes. Thank you very much, Adam. Even though he doesn't quite come from our country, he sort of does, right? He's here a lot. He comes from another nice place like Australia, right? And they've been very good, very, very good to us. Jay, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. We also have the head of Pfizer here, so I want to thank him. One of the great people, one of the great businessmen. Thank you, Albert. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to congratulate our newly sworn-in Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner. Come here. I got to say hello. Come on up here, Scott. I had Tim Scott pushing him so hard, you have no idea. I had no choice. Is that right, Tim? No, Scott is, I've known him a long time, and Scott's a real champion. Say a couple of words, Scott, please.
Well, hello, everyone. Is everybody happy to be here together? Is everybody happy to be here together? Amen. Well, first of all, I want to thank President Trump for his confidence and appointing me to this position. I consider it a great honor and a great blessing. And I thank God for this, and I'm real humbled by it. And you can guarantee that every day that I'm going to lay it down for the people of America. As Senator Tim Scott, thank you for your leadership. I really appreciate you. And for all of those who have gone before us and those of you who have such a great voice today, keep on speaking, keep on preaching for not just Black America, but for all America. So we appreciate you. And my sister Brooke Rollins and all of those here, Mr. President, we look forward to working with you, sir. Great agenda. We pray for you every day. God bless you, and thank you. God bless America. Thank you for President Trump.
Thank you. Congratulations. And I see we have a newly, I think you just got in, right? They just confirmed you, and you did it very nicely. Brooke Rollins, she's the Secretary of Agriculture. It's a big deal. That's great, Brooke. That was a good vote you had, too, huh? She went through very easily, a little easier than some of our people, but they were all approved, every one of them. And today we just had Kash Patel approved, which is great. So, Brooke, congratulations. Secretary of Agriculture, that's big stuff, right? That's big. So you're going to do fantastically. And congratulations also to a really good friend of mine. He endorsed me early, and he was one of the best surrogates you could have. The surrogate is when you walk around and go on television shows and they go try and beat you up, but he beat them up. They didn't have a chance against Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina. And he's now the longest serving Black United States Senator in the history of our country. I don't know. That's pretty good. He's going to be around for a long time, right? He just got married. Congratulations on that, too. Beautiful, beautiful wife. Thanks as well to Congressman John James. Where's John James? Is he here? Hi, John. How are you? It's a star, young star. I knew that 5 years ago, right, John? I sort of predicted it. And I'm proud to say that we now have more Black Republicans serving in the U.S. House than at any time since 1870. That's a long time, 1870. So thank you very much. And Scott, you're going to be fantastic. I'll tell you, you're going to do a great job. As you know, the Americans are going to be celebrating something very important coming up, our 250th anniversary, our nation's founding. And when we do, we're going to look forward to honoring the contributions of countless Black Americans who fought to win and protect and expand American freedom from the very, very beginning. And some of my good friends are here today, and I appreciate you being. I'm not going to call out your names because Tiger will get very bored. He'll say, this is a little boring. This is a little boring if we do that. But I want to thank you all for being here. You are our friends, and we appreciate this. And you, McGee, you are my friend. The last administration tried to reduce all of American history to a single year, 1619. But under our administration, we honor the indispensable role Black Americans have always played in the immortal cause of another date, 1776. We like 1776. In the very skirmish of the Revolutionary War at Lexington Green, an enslaved black man named Prince Estabrook, you know Prince Estabrook? Yeah. Answered history's call and fought as the Minutemen alongside the other patriots of the very small Massachusetts town. Couldn't protect itself, but they did a good job. Prince was wounded in the early morning battle, becoming not only the first African-American soldier to fight in the Revolution, but among the very first Americans to spill their blood. One of the first in the nation to spill blood in that very, very tough time. Soon Estabrook joined the Continental Army and ultimately won his own freedom along with that of his fellow Americans. His legacy will endure, and we're very proud to honor him today. It's a very important day in our country, and we honor him. First person to spill blood happened to be Tim Estabrook. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we will be including the statue of Prince Estabrook in our new National Garden of American Heroes. We're going to be doing a Garden of American Heroes. And now that I think of it, I must tell you, sadly, most of them, I guess all of them are not with us any longer. I was going to put Tiger in the garden, but maybe you don't want to be there. I maybe should wait a little bit, huh? Like about 50, I think I'm going to wait about 50 years, all right? But Tiger's going to make it, okay? But I'm a little afraid to tell him yes, because he'd be the only one that's living. I don't know, Tiger. Tiger's rejecting that offer, right? Under the executive order I signed last month, this new beautiful outdoor statue park. It's going to be a statue park. It's going to be unbelievable. We're picking the final sites now. It's between various states that want it very badly. We'll honor hundreds of our greatest Americans to ever live, including countless Black Americans, icons. The garden will predominantly feature incredible women like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, and Coretta Scott King. And I will showcase it will be something very extraordinary. It's going to be we're going to produce some of the most beautiful works of art in the form of a statue from men like Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Jackie Robinson, what a great athlete that was, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, he's not a bad athlete. What do you think? Not too bad. And the late Kobe Bryant. People love Kobe Bryant. And we're going to save Tiger Woods for another time. That's all that I can. I'm sorry. During Black History Month, we pay tribute to these heroes, and so that's not simply because they're Black heroes, but also because they are truly American heroes who inspire all of us, very much so. The theme of this year's celebration is African Americans and labor, and we want to thank all of the Black workers, construction workers, and every other worker. They do a job like nobody can do, and we want to just thank them very much for their contribution. Tim, the contribution you've made, Tim, is incredible. Opportunity Zone, so many people, he's the father of Opportunity Zone. I'm just the son, he's the father, because he came into the White House, the Oval Office, with this idea, and it's probably the #1 economic development project ever in our country, and I want to give Senator Tim Scott the credit for it. Good job, Tim. Of course, millions of blacks were first brought here in slavery, and they were kept in that evil condition for really generations. But because of the steadfast faith and courage of so many patriots of all colors, we abolished that horrific institution, expanded civil rights, and advanced America's destiny as one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Just a few months ago, the people in this room and millions of other Black Americans played their own part in the American story when you went to the voting booths and restored a nice, good, solid government. And there's a guy that really helped. There's a man that really helped. You really are great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't forget. I'm proud to say that we received, listen to this, more votes from black Americans than any Republican president ever. Not even close. Almost 40% of the vote. Now, I won't be happy the next time. Should I run again? You tell me. There's your controversy right there. There's your controversy. Thank you. You'll be seeing that on you're going to see that tonight, Tim, on television. I want to thank just a few of the people who are with us today, and these are great friends of ours. Alveda King. Alveda, where are you, Alveda? Hi, Alveda. Thank you. You've been with me from day one, and I appreciate it. I won't forget it. She's a fantastic woman. Alice, where's Alice? Boy, are you incredible. I watched you on last night on television. You were so good. You know, Alice was in prison for doing something that today probably wouldn't even be prosecuted. She spent 22 years in prison, 22 years. She had another 22 years left. Can you believe it? And I pardoned her, and it was one of the best pardons. One of the best pardons. You know what she was on? She happened to be on the wrong telephone line. Is that true? She was on a telephone call. And I'm not saying it was perfect, but it wasn't worth 40 or 50 years, Alice. And you've been an inspiration to people. And we're going to be listening to your recommendation on pardons. You're going to go over and she's going to be czar, okay? And you're going to find people just like you that should not have happened. It should happen. So you're going to look and you're going to make recommendations, and I'll follow those recommendations, okay, for pardons, all right? Thank you very much. A man who's just incredible. This guy, I watched him when he was a Democrat, and then one day he had to change because he couldn't take it any longer. And did anyone ever hear of a man named Leo 2.0 Terrell? Where are you? Get up here. I love this guy. You know what he's doing now? He's with the Department of Justice. He's in charge of civil rights and lots of other great things. He's going to be working with Pam. It's okay. Could he come up, please? Come on, Leo. Get up here. Leo 2.0. This guy is great. Hello. Thank you.
You are the greatest. Thank you. I just want to say we are in the presence of the greatest president of all time. He is the greatest president in our lifetime. And I'll tell you right now, the Democratic Party should be worried because they took us for granted. No longer. We vote in our best interest. We want the same thing that every American wants. Good job. We want a secure border. We want to pay lower taxes, and Mr. President Donald Trump is doing that. Thank you, Mr. President.
He's a great guy. No, I watched him. He was a radical Democrat. He became a radical Republican, right? He's great. He's in the Department of Justice. Think of it, doing very important work at the highest level. Also, Sage Steele. Sage, where are you? Hello, Sage. Great job you do. You're doing great. Thank you very much, Sage, for being here. Michael, Harry O. Harris. Michael. Hi, Michael. Thank you very much, Michael. Deontay Johnson. Deontay. Thank you, Deontay. Lynn Patton. She's worked for me for a long time. Lynn. She's worked for us for a long time. Bob Woodson. Where's Bob? And we're also joined by 7-time Mr. Olympia. I want to see this guy. Phil Heath. Where's Phil? Phil Heath. I don't want to compare my muscles. Here he is. Thank you, Phil, very much. I appreciate it. Will you come up here for a second? Come on, get up. I got to say, come on, you. From day one, right? From day one, he's been here. Get up. You got to say just a word. If you fall, it's all over. Tiger, you're not allowed to fall. You know, you can make a great speech, but if you fall going up, that's no good. Come on.
Wow. Are you kidding me? Mr. President, it has been an honor of a lifetime to support you, to try to wake up as many people to the lies of the Democrat Party and the nonstop manipulation of the mainstream media. That's why I now have my show on Newsmax, so I can champion you. And I'm thankful that we've been able to champion him and get him across the finish line for another amazing 4 years. And let me say, I know God has chose you. He anointed you for this position. He kept you alive so you could be here today. And we prayed for that. We pray for you. We continue to pray for you. And we're thankful for your service and your sacrifice. Mr. President Donald J. Trump, honor. God bless you.
From day one. I like those guys from day one. Tiger's been there from day one, too. Let me tell you, this guy is amazing. In 4 weeks, our new administration has achieved more than most administrations achieve in 4 years. We brought our country back. It's 4 weeks. Today is our 4th week. It's the end of the week. We are now starting our 5th, and I think we've done more in 4 weeks. Well, certainly than the last administration did in 4 years. They actually went negative. They actually went in the wrong direction. Together, we're going to be fighting long and hard for Black Americans and all Americans. We're going to be fighting for all Americans. We've secured our border, and we're stopping the invasion of our country. You know, our border right now is more secure than it's ever been. And we had the record. 4 years ago, we had the record. We had the lowest number in history, and now the numbers, Tim, are even lower than they were then. And we're honored. We're allowing people to come in from all over the world, from prisons and jails, mental institutions, insane asylums, gang members. They had drug dealers. They had everybody dropping in. And we had this ridiculous open border policy. They drop in. And I'll tell you, the people that were affected the most were Black people. You were affected the most in terms of the crime, in terms of the drugs and everything else. And we have the border shut down. We allow people to come in. We want people to come in, Tim, but we want them to come in legally. They're going to come through. So we're protecting American workers, including millions of Black workers. And we have a thing called reciprocal tariffs. If they charge us, we charge them. This is opening up. We just signed the bill, and we're going to take in billions and billions of dollars, and we're making our country very healthy again and very rich again. We want to be very rich again. We've been taken advantage by everybody, and you've been watching Doge, where we found billions, tens of billions of dollars of fraud and waste and abuse, and that's just the beginning. And Elon Musk has done an amazing job, I have to tell you. Him and his super geniuses, you know, these are seriously high IQ people. And nobody's going to talk them out of anything. They go in and they're finding billions. I mean, literally tens of billions of dollars that we just started. And I think that's going to have a big, big impact, Brooke, right? So we want to just really say, and I have to say to you, I look at this turnout, I look at the love in the room. This is just love in the room. And I remember the first time I did this, my first administration, one of my first meetings. There wasn't this large a crowd, Tiger. We had about 5 people in the front. We had maybe five Black people right in the front, right about there. I said, is anybody else coming? Is this it? Open? I don't even think Tim Scott, I know Turner wasn't there. I don't think Tim Scott was there either. I'm not sure. But that's all changed. And we got the highest vote, and one of the big reasons I'm president today is because of the Black vote, and I always appreciate it. So this is a very special time. It's Black History Month. We love you all. We're going to work with you. We're going to make America greater than ever before. We're going to do it together. I want to thank you all for being here. It's an incredible honor. And to my great golfing friends, I want to thank them in particular because they really are. They make a lot of money. They don't have to be up here with me. Tiger doesn't have to be here. Adam doesn't have to. They don't need this. But they love you and they love our country. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, a great time there in the East Room of the White House. President Trump announcing a new National Garden of American Heroes. So a beautiful statue park that will be placed somewhere in the country. President Trump saying he and the team still have to figure out where it's going to be, but that sounds pretty awesome. A new National Garden of American Heroes. So that wraps up our coverage for this part of our live event coverage. Also, later today at 6:30, we'll have more live coverage from President Trump as he will be speaking at the Republican Governors Association. So our coverage starts at 6:30 Eastern Time. Also, we want to thank a number of our sponsors here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Colonial Metals Group is one of them. All you have to do is go to freegoldguide.com/RSBN for more information. Also, let's go to republicanred.com. republicanred.com, where you can get quite the discount using the RSBN promo code as well. Thanking also Tax Network USA, 800-357-1415, a great number there, all for helping you to settle any back taxes. Also, we'd like to thank Brightcore, so mybrightcore.com/RSBN. Kimchi One is the product. You can get that right there. Just go to mybrightcore.com/RSBN. Also, mypillow.com. also /RSBN. A lot of great sales there. All you have to do is go to mypillow.com/RSBN. If you'd like to text RSBN to 801-801 to donate, you can do so, RSBN to 801-801. Also, we have a newsletter, rsbnetwork.com/newsletter. You get some information there, America First updates and live events and all the things that you need to know. And outside of that, following us on Truth Social, on X, download our app, all of the things, as they say. So we have a lot of platforms here that we broadcast with Right Side Broadcasting Network. So thank you so much for streaming in for this coverage. If you'd like, for the next few minutes, you can go over to the CPAC coverage and watch that and continue to enjoy that coverage. And then at 6:30 tonight, we'll be right here on RSBN Live as the president will speak to the Republican Governors Association. For all of us at Right Side Broadcasting Network, I'm Matthew Alvarez. We'll see you in a little bit.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Families across the nation have arrived at a heartbreaking crossroad to surrender their beloved animals at alarming rates due to inflation and soaring costs of living.
There are so many overcrowded shelters. So many dogs need a home, but it's all of us working together to solve this crisis.
This fight requires both doers and dollars. Join us at Big Dog Ranch Rescue. Please sign up today.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.